Hi guys, it's album review time. We've got Edgeland and Tunnels. Before we get on to the next video, I want to do a shameless plug of my merch. I've been doing merch for a little while now, but never really plugged it. So you can get some really cool stuff. If you follow the link in the description below, you can go to my merch site. They've got loads of stuff there. We've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got baseball caps. I mean, look at that one. You like that? You want one of them? You go to the merch site and get that. 6 different logos as well. So much to choose from, so much more than the stuff I just mentioned as well. All you do is follow the link in the description below and it takes you there. Only take you a second. Now on with the video. So this album comes out on September the 19th. The second album from this Swedish hard rock and metal band. Thank you so much to the band for sending me this early. Always appreciate listening to stuff early. It really means a lot for the bands to send it to me and ask for my opinion. I still don't know why, but thank you very much. So this album was recorded and mixed by Marcus Edvardsson. 8 tracks, approximately 40 minutes long. Probably the perfect length for an album now. I have noticed that bands are releasing shorter albums. I think they've learnt their lesson. You know, a lot of bands in general have learnt their lesson of putting loads of tracks on albums. This is the perfect length because it leaves you wanting more, basically. Like I said, this is a Swedish hard rock, mainly metal band. And I suppose, when the last album came out, Keepers of the Light, in 2023, I thought it was more aimed towards hard rock. But I think with this album, there's more towards the metal side, but still plenty of hard rock there as well. This band was formed in 1993, so obviously different guises and that, and getting the band together, and man, what a band and what an album this is. You got Jimmy Colson on the vocals and the bass. Love his vocals. The overall sound of this album, I've already mentioned Marcus Edvardsson is recording and mixing this. It sounds massive. There's real heaviness to the guitars, whether they're chugging and crunching along with really heavy riffs. There's a real decent bass sound to it. You can hear everything in that mix. It's such a great sounding album. And where they've upped the ante, I think, a little bit on this, making it more metal, they've got that almost hints of Metallica in there when it really gets heavy, classic Metallica. And I think the production really makes most of those meaty guitar riffs. Thunderous drums, of course. The quality throughout on the sound of this is amazing. So yeah, Jimmy Colson does a brilliant job on vocals and bass. We got Nicholas Eriksson on the guitar. Like I said, it is quite a heavy album, so there's guitars galore. There's guitars on this. Amazing solos, really infectious grooves and riffs throughout. Some real stomp to this album as well. And Magnus Bricks on the drums. Just a free piece that make a lot of noise, and they sound absolutely amazing. This album is very atmospheric and heavy. So melodic. There's some songs here that have quite an epic feel in nature. I'll get onto the songs soon. And there's a real good variation across these 8 tracks. Sort of some slow, some medium and fast-paced songs, always keeping you sort of really interested and invested in the whole album. There's nothing worse, is there, than 40 minutes of the same song. That is definitely not the case here, but they never veer away where it's so left field. You know what I mean? That you don't know what to think the band are. They're a hard rock and metal band, but the different textures and layers and stuff they've got on their songs is pretty amazing. And like I said, it flies by at 40 minutes. Absolutely flies by, this album, and leaves you wanting more. In fact, I've listened to this album 3 times on the trot because really getting into this album is amazing. Definitely one of the best albums of the year for me. It's a bit darker than the debut. I think I've already mentioned that. It's a little bit darker. It feels like that way. And along that comes the more heaviness, I would say. But there's plenty of melody here, like I said. But always as melodic as Keepers of the Light. So you've got that melody, but they up the ante with the heaviness at the same time. Let's get onto these amazing songs. Starting the album off, maybe my favourite track of the album, definitely up there. It's a 10 out of 10 song. I can't get enough of this song, The Release. I did a reaction to this quite a while ago now, a couple of months ago I suppose. One of the best songs of the year for me. If I was to do a top 10 songs now, which I'm thinking of doing actually, I've just gone halfway through the year, this is in it. It's an amazing song, like a mixture of sort of classic sort of Scorpions, hard-edged Scorpions and Metallica at the same time thrown in. The band sort of are teasing you in the verses as they sort of build up to a really heavy bridge and chorus. Jimmy Colson, the singer, belts out, release my body and soul, release me, release me. It's such a powerful chorus. It's just so infectious. Nicholas Ericsson's riffs just tear through this brilliant opener. What a start. Like I said, 10 out of 10. Then we go on to the second track, which is Crimson Coronation. This is a fast-paced sort of rocker. It sort of starts off with a tribal type drum, but sort of starts the song off, and then we're right into a sort of great rocking second track. And Jimmy Colson's brilliant gritty vocals are all over this track. It's like I said, it's fast-paced. There's loads of energy, and then Jimmy's bass line as well, just thunderous right the way through this song. Very cool. There's a slight reprieve about a minute from the end before the sort of goes a bit quieter. Then the band sort of thunders to the finish line with a great chorus. Great song. Valley of Kings is the next track I want to talk about. Bit of a longer song, just over 6 minutes long. An almost sort of classic blues riff starts the track off, but it turns into something else, and the band sounds huge, man. When they all kick in and that production is just top notch. Sounds amazing. A bit of a darker, sort of a more atmospheric feel to this song. There's loads of sort of dynamics in this track, and it boasts a huge chorus. Then I want to talk about Desolate Road, another fast-paced track, a full-blown metal track actually, with almost sort of thrash tendencies going through some of it. Magnus Blick's drums just thump through the whole song. Thunderous stuff from him, but along with all that heaviness comes the sort of melody that Edgeland always produce. A real energetic, head-banging track. Then I want to talk about The Closing Day. Oh yeah, man. Sort of rumble of that bass as it cuts through underneath. Another brilliant riff. This is where the band sort of really hit the sweet spot for me. That sort of medium pace really accentuates the sort of heavy, epic feel the band have. Colson's vocals are they're amazing on this one. I absolutely love them. They sort of flick back and forth from sort of that light and shade of the song. They sort of go in tandem. A favourite track of mine for sure. Final Breath is the next track I want to talk about. This was another single, just over 6 minutes long again, sort of slow to medium pace. This is contending with some of the best tracks on the album. I know I love them all, but this is really top notch. Another excellent song. The song sort of starts very mellow, slowly sort of builds, and you can feel the anticipation as the song's building up. It's a real infectious track that has a real modern feel to it as well, that should sort of click with a wide range of rockers. Older people like myself, people stuff into new metal fans as well would love this song. I suppose it's a bit of an epic ballad, if you actually sum the song up, but it's plenty of heavy moments for sure. Brilliant song. And then we go on to River Black. Again, those almost thrashy elements coming through with the band. A stomping medium to fast-paced song. It really is. If ever there was doubt that these guys aren't metal on this album, that debate ends right here. This is a real metal track. It's a classic metal vibe that runs through the whole of the track. It's very cool. As a change up on the sort of 2:30 mark, sort of halfway into the track, so heavy, so fucking cool. Brilliant song. And then we finish the album off on the 8th track, like I said, And the Shadows That Followed. A song that's sort of almost split into two parts. Acoustic beginning with some sort of orchestral elements, sort of creating atmosphere. Then bang on the halfway, we sort of get a heavy, drawn-out riffs as the band sort of tackle their epic side once again. It's a great end to the album. It's the perfect end to the album, sort of giving an almost grandeur close to this excellent album release. So guys, I can't recommend this album enough. It gets better with every listen. I think it's a, even though the first listen you love it, it's a grower as well because of sort of those epic nature that they've got. Those melodies shine through. It's brilliant. September the 19th. It's called Tunnels. The band is Edgeland. Check them out, guys. You're going to love this album. Order it now. Support the band. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. See you soon.